Triple here, coming with stories of life, destiny, and hope. Want to circle in on a message that God sees you where you are. And that's where my hope is, that's where my message is for you, that God sees you. Now, during the first times, there was a lot of action going on. Adam was building up his community, and Cain's community was thriving at times. And then, when the wars started breaking out and all of this, people started scattering. And there were stories upon stories of people just fleeing civilization, so to say, and going into the wilderness and either being attacked by fallen or being hindered or just, their lives being in peril. And sometimes there's like the Jungle Book stories where there's a little boy left alone. And so, but God was seeing them. And the animals would come to the rescue. The creatures would come to the rescue. And so we have probably 3 or 4 of these kind of stories. So it's really fascinating. And as well with the women that were being captured and being, put into slavery and all that kind of stuff. Their stories of escape, their stories of establishing a civilization, so to say. So it's, again, we got all kinds of things happening on the sides. There's main stories, there's side stories, there's people going to the ocean and developing stuff there. There's people going to the not desert areas, but the rainforest areas and things like that. So there's a vastness of civilization, people going everywhere, trying to survive and thriving. And God was seeing them. And he took care of them. He provided for them. Sometimes not physically, in the sense of like they didn't thrive physically, but spiritually they did. Upon death, they thrived. The Lord received them. They knew him. They could confess him. So it's interesting how this story works out, how the stories of these people are unfolding, and how the testimony of the angels is coming to us and sharing these testimonies. And I'm just saying, that was then. Now, you are also just as precious, just as wonderful, just maybe as lost, maybe just as isolated, but God loves you. God desires you to flourish where you're planted, around the people you are. Now, sometimes you got to leave the bad influence people. Sometimes there's, people you've invited into your life that you got to say, no, not any longer. But other times it's the people who are supposed to be in your life, and you just need to love them. And you just need to witness and care and give them life so that they can thrive. So I'm going to leave all that with you. I'm going to say, I'll bless you, and we'll talk again. But God sees you. Hang in there.